Right, Jeff. Well, this is your second comeback with Talisman, and you've been releasing albums with Marcel Jacob under different names. What's the story? I mean, why haven't you been just Talisman all the time?
The first outing was Human Clay, and we did that album because we put Talisman on hiatus for a while. There was a time where we were having internal problems with the band as well as external problems with the record companies we were dealing with. We wanted to kind of clean house with the whole situation and figure out what we were going to do next. So instead of making it official that we were breaking Talisman up, we just said, let's put it on hold for a while, recollect our thoughts. If we decide we want to continue with it, we can do so without saying we broke up, we're getting back together. But at the other token, it just gave us a chance to kind of clean house a little bit. And I don't want to say that in a bad way, especially in the sense of Frederick leaving the band, because he just wanted to pursue something a little heavier, and we knew that. He was 20 or 21 when he first joined us, and he wanted to be in more of a metal type of situation. And of course, we don't want to hold anybody back that wants to pursue other things. But on the other hand, we didn't really know where we wanted to go. So it was Marcel and I, it was just a continuation of us being able to do stuff together, work together, that we did the Human Clay thing. Humanimal was originally supposed to be a concept album that was started with Marcel and Pontus Norgren. And originally they were supposed to have a few different singers on it. I was going to sing 2 or 3 songs, and it was like a concept album, like I said. It turned out that they thought it might not work as a concept album, so maybe I should sing all the songs. And then all of a sudden everybody thought it was Talisman Mark II, when it was really just a complete side project that was supposed to be something that I was guesting on. And it's always like that with the media, with the fans. They don't really take into the idea of doing side projects without lumping it into your own personal projects. So obviously people looked at Humanimal as Talisman Mark III. And it wasn't that at all. It was just a little side that those guys were doing, and I was just helping them.
Do you consider to play songs on stage now that you released under a different name?
We were going to do. We rehearsed a couple of Humanimal songs as well. Human Clay, I don't think we'd ever do that stuff live. Again, that stuff was just an excuse to continue working together. It wasn't really a band. It wasn't really something that we were going to continue and take off from. It was just something to continue working together. And I don't think so. I think Talisman's got enough history and enough albums under our belts that we'd rather just concentrate on doing our stuff.
Do you think your lineup now is stable? Will you continue releasing albums?
Absolutely. Or? Yeah, I mean, that's since we got Frederick back in the band. I think the recent album is our strongest yet. Some people like the first album because it's the most melodic. It's got the keyboards and the really light harmonies and all that stuff. But as we progress, we've obviously gotten a little more experimentational with groove and just a little more aggressive side. And that's what I think the new album has a little more of. It's got kind of a combination of everything we've done from the past to the present.
Right. You're involved in a lot of projects. I mean, you've got your solo stuff. What is your main focus now? Is it Talisman or your solo thing, or are you involved with different projects that you focus on?
It's kind of a combination of both. I've never really cared about being a solo artist. Doing this recent solo album was kind of my return back into doing original stuff as a regular thing again, because before I was doing this disco thing in Vegas for like 5 years, and that was my hiatus from the whole music scene. That was my that was kind of my rediscovering what I wanted to do and what I wanted to come back doing when I wanted to do it. And that's by doing a solo album and doing the new Talisman album, that was kind of my re-entrance back into doing original music again.
Well, do you think you will continue to release solo albums? I mean, as long as you have Talisman? If
there's interest, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it because it's another outlet. It's something I can do where, I can do stuff that Talisman wouldn't do, and why wouldn't I want to do that?
Well, both Marcel and you played with Yngwie Malmsteen. Mm-hmm. I mean, I discovered you as a Swedish guy playing the guitar.
That's an evil word in this room.
Yeah, I know. But ever since I heard I'll See the Light Tonight, you've been one of my favorite vocalists.
Thanks.
Man. And could you consider to play some old Malmsteen stuff?
On the solo live thing, I did a Malmsteen medley on that. I mean, on that one, I open the show with a Human Clay a cappella thing. I do Talisman songs. I do Eyes, Axel Repel. I do basically everything from my past. And that's one of the reasons I'm even interested in doing this solo thing, because I can go out and do a collection of my past as opposed to just things from my solo albums. I go out there and do, everything from the beginning, from 1985 to now, which is that makes me more excited than just doing a couple of solo albums, going out and playing songs that people don't really know. But with Yngwie, that's a touchy subject. We used to tool around and have fun with it back in the past, but there've been some recent events that make us kind of stay away from that. That we don't really associate ourselves with it anymore.
Well, you say that's a touchy subject. We've got new vocalists all the time. Is it that difficult to cooperate with?
Well, that's the key word. You don't work with Yngwie, you work for Yngwie.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
if you can get past working for him, then you shouldn't have any problem. But most people go with him. They think they're going to be working with him, and they're highly look in the wrong direction.
How do you look upon the albums that you did with Yngwie? I think, the second album is really great.
Well, let's put it this way. I look at it, it's my past. It's my history. And I basically leave it at that. I don't really listen to that stuff anymore. I can't... I don't want to talk badly about my past, because obviously a lot of people feel close to it. It's something when they listen to, they remember from their childhood, or when they're listening to that stuff for the first time. So I don't want to take away from that. But on the other hand, it's not something that I necessarily dwell from anymore.
I won't talk much about Yngwie Malmsteen, but I'll See the Light Tonight video. It's your vocals. You're not in the video.
Right.
What did you feel about that?
Well, it sucked. I left the band 2 months before they shot the video, and because I left the band, obviously they had to do a video, and they used a new guy. He kicked and screamed that they didn't replace his vocal, because obviously he hated the fact that he had to pantomime to my voice. But the record company, the management, or anybody on the higher power, all they said was like, who cares who's singing or who's appearing? It's all about Yngwie. It's Yngwie's name. Doesn't matter. So there was really no regard into... I mean, they could have used a bunch of chimpanzees playing keyboards and drums and singing, and they wouldn't have cared.
Now you're back with Talisman, you're doing your solo stuff. If Axel Repel or somebody came and asked you if you wanted to do albums with them, would you accept?
I'm done with that. I really have to focus on what's going on with me now, because if I plan on taking it to the next level and then to the next level again, I can't continue confusing the fans and confusing the audiences as to who I am and what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And it's not about a paycheck anymore. Back in the day, I used to do a lot of different works because of the paycheck, and I'd rather starve than to continue just bastardizing my voice just for the sake of making a dollar.